The Microsoft team has been hard at work improving both the report authoring experience and the semantic model building experience in the web browser. Now, why this is a big deal is because traditionally you've been limited to building Power BI reports on just PCs. But as they've been improving the web authoring experience, you can now start to use things like a Mac. Now, it's so obvious to me that this report building and semantic modeling experience is working on Macs. I thought, hey, let's step it up a notch. Let's try to build a semantic model on my family's iPad. Now, before we get into all of that, I do have to introduce myself. My name is Ned. I am a Microsoft MVP with a focus on Power BI, and today we're going to be having some fun. P.S. Ignore the lock screen on the iPad. My wife said that because she thinks it's funny. Okay, now let's jump into the iPad and let's start data modeling. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is actually make sure that we can log in, which it looks like we can. And it also looks like the new report button is available. So let's click new report, then get data. Then let's let this load. And then let's search for Databricks, although not Azure Databricks, because we're going to be using Databricks free. So let's search for Databricks. And then we need to go into Databricks. And we need to go ahead and start our compute. So I'm going to start our serverless starter warehouse here. And then while that's starting, we can go in and get our connection details. So our host name, and we can go ahead and paste that in. And then we can get our HTTP path, which, there we go. Now we have our HTTP path. Okay, now I had actually already set up this connection, so this should just be as simple as re-signing in, so reauthorizing the connection, and then once that's loaded, hitting next, which seems to be working. One of the things you might notice here is that the iPad in general is really slow. And that's just kind of something I was working through, and there's some hard kind of cuts in this video. So let's go into the gold catalog, then the sales demo schema, and then let's select our table. So we're going to select dim date, products, and then our fact orders. Well, actually, no, let's actually just select dim date, products, and then the orders view, because I think that would be kind of a smoother thing to work. Now again, as you might notice, it's kind of taking a really long time to load. It's a little unclear if this is like the iPad or if this is the Databricks serverless compute taking its time. But you know, it just kind of spins and spins and spins, but now we have our views. We shouldn't have to do anything here because all the transformations were done in Databricks and they were set up on the computer. So we should just be able to hit create report. So kind of just clicking through the tables here, making sure everything's loaded. You know, it looks like it's loaded. So let's go ahead and let's hit create report and see what happens. Now it's going to want a name for the semantic model. So I'm going to give it a name of iPad. And we've got to make sure this is capitalized iPad demo. And then let's hopefully go on over and let's hit create. Now, as you notice, it loaded, but we did get an error. So let's open up the model and take a look. And unfortunately, yep, there we go, the error again. So let's open up the model again. And then unfortunately, it does look like we don't have any of our tables. So if you look, it says 0 tables. When we click the tables, it says 0 tables. Let's hit get data one more time. Then let's go all the way down here. And as you can see, we do have some recent connections. So let's try to add these one by one. So let's select dim date, then hit connect, and let that load. Then let's, and I'm going to kind of cut this. Let's then, oh, it's still loading. Okay. Give me 1 second. Okay, so it's still loading. All right, there we go. So dim date did add. So let's go into editing mode and then let's go back, OneLight catalog, get data. And we again have to kind of sit here and then let's continue to do this 3 more times or 2 more times. So let's go dim products. So let's select that one and let that one load. So again, we selected dim products. iPad's kind of sitting, you can't really tell, but There we go. Okay, it's asking us for a connection. Let's go ahead, let's hit connect. And then again, it should load. I'm gonna kind of cut this off because this is gonna be a lot of loading, but now we have our dim products. Then let's go get data one more time. Again, it's loading, and this time we're going to select our core view. So let's select VW orders. So there we are, VW orders. Again, selected, loading, and then let's hit connect. Once again, updating the connection. Here we are, processing. But it does look like this is actually kind of adding in all of the tables, although right here we can only see that dim date is in. But when we actually go and we look at the semantic model over here on the tables side, right, you can see dim date, product, and orders. So it does look like all of our tables are actually added. I am trying to kind of drag the table here so I can rearrange the semantic model. But as you notice, it's actually kind of airing out, which is kind of frustrating. So I think what I've realized I have to do to get the relationships, then go manage relationships. Then once the relationship pops open, I can select the relationship by clicking the three dots, then going edit, and then making sure that everything is set up. So here I am changing the cross filter direction to single, hitting save here. And again, the iPad's being kind of slow. Then I want to create a new relationship. And in this new relationship, I want it to be between VW orders and the date table, I believe, right here. So there we are. And let's scroll on over and let's select order date ID to date ID. And then let's scroll down and hit save. And just like that, it does look like this is working. So we now have a semantic model with three tables in it and the relationships all kind of set up. So let's do something a little bit more complex and let's try to insert in a measures table. So I'm going to, oh, I think the iPad is freezing a little bit here. Give it 1 second. Okay, so there we go. I'm going to click tables, then new calculated table, which should pop open a DAX window, although, okay, the iPad's freezing a little bit, but there we go. So we now have a table, and then in here I can actually define a DAX table. So I'm going to do that with a data table, although the iPad keyboard is, oh, there we go. Okay, now it's unfreezing. Okay, so I'm going to go data table right here, and then I am going to create a column. So we're going to create this column as hide me. Oh, and I had a typo there, and that'll be a string. And the iPad's getting stuck here, so it's not quite right. So let's go back in and let's edit this a little bit more. So we need to add in some of these columns. Yep, there we are. Okay, the iPad's frozen. The iPad's frozen. Oh, okay, there we go. All right, so then we don't want to add any data, so I'll hit check. But now I have got a table named table, which is no good. So let's try to rename this. I am going to try to name it measures, and though I always forget measures is a reserved keyword. So let's go on back and let's change this to something like KPIs, and let's hit OK. All right, so it seemed to like that. So we now actually have a measures table. So let's expand this, let's expand columns, and then let's hit the little eyeball to hide that measures. Then let's click the three dots down below, and then let's click, oh, nope, it wouldn't let me click new measure. Okay, oh, okay. All right, it's, okay, all right, so now it's expanded the column. So let's look what we have. It looks like we've got a quantity and then a sales amount. So let's go back into our KPIs table and then let's hit new measures, let it load. Oh, the iPad is frozen again here. Okay, so let's remove the measures and let's create a new measure called quantity, and that will simply be a sum of, there we go, sum of, and then let's go VW orders, quantity, right? And then let's close that and let's hit the green checkbox. And then let's go ahead and let's create one new measure. So let's go up there, new measure. And then let's make this measure be, and oh, look at the iPad's kind of glitching out again, but we are going to make this measure be called revenue, and it'll be a sum of VW. Oh God, the iPad is getting stuck, but we'll make this be revenue of VW orders amount right there, and let's sum that. And then let's go ahead and let's hit that checkbox. Okay, the iPad does kind of seem to be frozen, but it does look like we now have all of our tables added, our two measures. So the only thing left to do is to format these. So for the revenue, we need to change this to a currency. We'll turn on the thousand separator and we'll put in 0 decimal places right here. And then let's go and let's select the quantity here. So we're gonna kind of tap on that measure. And this is one of the things that's a little tricky with working on the iPad. When you try to tap on something, it doesn't always work. So like here, for example, I just had to zoom in because I'm trying to tap on quantity. So I just double tapped. Okay, now it wants me to rename. So, okay, there we go. Now I've got quantity selected. So now we want to turn on the thousand separator and then once again have that at 0 decimal places. So like that, let's switch the model into viewing to save it. And there we go, we have a completed semantic model. So do I think I'll be switching all of my data modeling onto my iPad moving forward? The answer is obviously not. It was really slow and pretty frustrating. But the fact that I can even build a basic semantic model on an iPad is quite an improvement and a real testament to the Microsoft team. If you enjoyed this video, especially something a little bit more goofy like this, go on over, hit the like button, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.